What's good, y'all? So I want to talk about, life insurance costs versus goals and the difference and how important that distinction really is. I've been working with my parents recently more closely on their life insurance policies ever since I've entered the space as a licensed agent. And what I've learned is that both of my parents have gotten life insurance at an older age, and both of them got term insurance policies initially. My mother has a term policy that ends at the age of 86, and my dad had a convertible term that converted to a universal life that will lapse at 86, or the cost of insurance will increase significantly at 86. And if he doesn't either manage it now and get on top of it, which I'm coaching him on how to do, if he would have arrived at age 86 based on his knowledge before I started working with him, he would have been in a position where if he wanted to get his goal, which was a payout to his children to cover, I'll just say that a payout to his children, and he lived past age 86, all the money that he invested over the years into that policy would be gone, and that payout wasn't coming. Or he would have had to pay 6 times more than what his policy is today to keep that policy going because of the way that universal life policies work. My mother's policy, my mother is in great health. She's 75, about to be 76, and her policy ends in about 6 years. So she'll be early 80s. Bottom line is, my mother will likely outlive that term policy. And because of the way term is designed, she's not going to get a payout. And all that money she put into it, is gone forever. And there will be no coverage for her children, which was her goal. You see, both my mother and my father have the goal and had the goal when they signed up for those policies to leave something behind for their children. But when you're at the age that they were at when they got those policies, the only logical choice should have been whole life, because whole life insurance gives you a level premium that doesn't increase, and it's guaranteed for your whole life. So it doesn't matter when my parents, if they would have gotten a whole life policy, it wouldn't matter when they transitioned. Their goal would be accomplished. They would be leaving something behind for their children. The problem with a term policy, or in my dad's case, a universal life policy, or let's say term that converted to universal life, when they got it in their 70s, is that both of them have conditions that impede their goal from happening if they outlive those terms, which is very likely because of their health and because of their family history. So with that being said, it's important to not just be focused on cost. It's important to understand what your goal is, because yes, term insurance is cheaper than whole life insurance. But why is that? I want you all to Google, how often do term policies pay out? And what you'll learn is that 99% or 98 or 99% of term policies that are written by insurance companies don't pay out a death benefit because most people outlive them. I want you to look that up for yourself. So there's a time and a place where term is appropriate, but there's also a time and a place where it isn't. And unfortunately, so many people are talking about buy term, buy term, buy term because it's cheaper. But you have to ask yourself the question, why is it cheaper? And you have to ask yourself the question, what's your ultimate goal?